So I was on 30 days R&R to go back to Japan. Well, at that time, everything started to close, and I get a new set of orders every week. Go to Greenville, North Carolina, go to here, go to there, go to Phoenix, Arizona. So I get one that says go to Smyrna, Tennessee, and I never heard of it. And I said, I'll go there because I know Tennessee is closer to Philadelphia than Phoenix, Arizona. So I ended up in Smyrna. And that was another funny joke. I ended up in Smyrna, and at that time, the same thing was happening in the service that was happening to the stations. People were being transferred all the time. We'd have a new CO in Smyrna for 3 weeks, and he'd go somewhere else. And then there was a Colonel Wood, young Colonel Wood, 28-year-old colonel, and he'd take out temporarily. And then we'd get another general, and he'd drop down in the general. We'd be there for 3 weeks. So another fella and I ended up in Smyrna at the same time, young fella, a little about this thing, Wayne Palmer. And he was a single engine guy. And I said, what are you doing here? He says, I don't know, I ended up here. I'm from Alabama, so it was close. So the sergeant says, you better sign in, and I had a flight jacket, leather flight jacket. So he says, okay. So I said, okay, I signed in. And when I signed in, some major in full uniform came in behind us. And he says, oh, you're going to be aboard, right? Well, I said, well, I guess I signed in, so I guess so. He says, as soon as you've signed in, see me in my office down the end of the hall. I said, well, that sounds like a greeting. He leaves, and the sergeant that was at the post says, that's a good start for you. He's a West Point major, and he's going to chew your ass. He did. He gave me all kinds of hell about being in flight togs off the flight line. I said, I just came from Japan, and that's all I wore was flight togs or shorts. So it was a comical story because he says, I want you back here in 15 minutes in full uniform. I said, boy, what a greeting. So I said, the hell with it. I went to the officers club. So you never saw anything so funny in your life. I went to the officers club, and here's the first lieutenant.
Hello.
Here he is sitting at the bar in clog and booties and argyle socks, moccasins and argyle socks. I said, my God. So I sat down with him and I said, what's the uniform? He says, you're new here, right? I said, I still have the leather jacket on. He says, make sure you sit right here with me. I said, I'm supposed to go back to see the major. About 20 minutes later, and several beers, in comes the major, walks right by both of us. Never said a word to me, never said a word to this guy. And I said, what's the story? Something's phony here. It turns out that Landry was a journalist from Notre Dame, and there's 400 Stalag Luft prisoners in Smyrna. And he says, and when the major came to Stalag Luft, I was in charge of the paper and everything. I gave him a beautiful write-up. He said he never touched me with anything from that time on, no matter what I did. And that's true. Landry would wander all over Smyrna, and he never got in trouble at all with completely out of uniform.